Did you know the Soviet Union sent thousands of men to their deaths while telling them they were completely safe? On April 26, 1986, at exactly 1:23 in the morning, Reactor 4 at Chernobyl exploded. The cleanup crew, called liquidators, were told radiation levels were harmless. Officials claimed they would receive less exposure than a chest X-ray. This was a complete lie. They were walking into a death zone. Within hours, their bodies began shutting down from acute radiation syndrome. First came nausea and vomiting. Then their skin turned red like severe sunburn. The radiation was literally cooking their cells from the inside out. Their bone marrow stopped producing blood cells. Their immune systems collapsed entirely. Some men's skin began peeling off in sheets, exposing raw flesh underneath. The government covered it all up, decorating the dying men as heroes. Most liquidators died believing they had saved lives, never knowing they were sacrificed. Over 600,000 men were exposed to lethal radiation based on deliberate lies. Did you know the CIA once destroyed a woman's mind just to see if they could rebuild it? In 1956, Velma Orligow walked into Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal seeking help for depression. She was a loving mother of 5, married to a politician, living a normal life. Dr. Ewan Cameron promised to cure her with revolutionary treatments. What he didn't tell her was that the CIA was funding his twisted experiments. For months, he pumped her full of LSD without her knowledge. He shocked her brain with electricity 30 times stronger than normal treatment. For 16 hours every day, speakers blasted the same recorded messages into her ears. Sleep, eat, shock, repeat. Her personality began cracking apart. The woman who entered as a devoted mother slowly disappeared. One day, her children visited. She stared at them like strangers. She couldn't remember their names, their faces, or that she had ever loved them. The CIA got their data. Velma never got her life back. Did you know the US government deliberately let hundreds of men die just to watch what would happen? In 1932, 399 African American men in rural Alabama were told they had bad blood. Doctors promised them free meals, medical care, and burial insurance. For 40 years, these men trusted the whitecoats completely, but they weren't being treated. They were being studied. Every single man had syphilis, and the doctors knew it. They watched as the disease ate through their bodies, taking detailed notes. Men went blind. Hearts failed. Minds cracked under the infection. Even when penicillin was discovered as a cure, nothing changed. The doctors just kept watching and writing. Wives got infected. Children were born with the disease. Entire families destroyed while researchers collected data. By 1972, when a whistleblower finally exposed the truth, most were already dead. The Tuskegee study didn't just kill those men. It shattered trust in medicine for generations. Did you know police walked into what looked like a normal farmhouse and found furniture made from inhuman bodies? November 16, 1957. 2 officers approached Ed Gein's quiet Wisconsin farm expecting a routine check. The locals knew him as just a harmless oddball who kept to himself. But inside that house, they discovered something far worse than anyone imagined. Chairs upholstered with human skin, lampshades crafted from faces, a soup bowl carved from a skull. Gein had been digging up fresh graves for years, harvesting bodies like crops. He turned human remains into household items with disturbing precision. But the worst discovery waited in his shed. Bernice Worden hung headless from the ceiling, butchered like livestock. Nearby sat a collection of human heads preserved like trophies. This quiet farmer had been living among the dead for decades. His story became the inspiration for Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs. Sometimes the most ordinary people hide the darkest secrets. Did you know one of the worst prison massacres in history happened because of a simple fistfight? October 2nd, 1992, Sao Paulo's Carandiru Penitentiary was a ticking time bomb. 8,000 prisoners crammed into cells built for 3,000. When 2 inmates started fighting in Pavilion 9, guards called for backup. What arrived wasn't backup, it was an execution squad. Colonel Uberatan Guimarães led 340 military police into the prison. They claimed they were restoring order, but they had other plans. Room by room, they lined up surrendering prisoners against walls. Automatic weapons fired as inmates begged for their lives. Police blocked medical teams from entering while screams echoed through corridors. They shot prisoners hiding under beds and finished off the wounded on the floor. When the smoke cleared, 111 inmates lay dead. Most had been shot multiple times at close range. The international scandal that followed exposed Brazil's brutal police system, but justice never came. subscribe, and follow for more.